Hey guys, I am Twaun X, and this is the Double Take Podcast. On today's show, we will be talking about the Little Baby murder, an HPD officer accused of child pornography for a second time, the release of Mr. Robert Johnson, and the Donald Trump-Zelensky spat in the Oval Office. Stay tuned for that information. Hey guys, I am Twaun X, and this is the Double Take Podcast. I want to start today by speaking on the Little Baby situation. I noticed that it is trending, and I wanted to give my take on this situation. It appears that he has been accused of murder based on ties to the community and his former allegiances. The narrative is being spent that he is a gang member and he is the person in control of these other people's activities. Now, before I go a little further into this subject, I would like to show you guys a clip of the police officers and how they are trying to insinuate Little Baby into this criminal case.
Of a local rapper for the shooting deaths of two 13-year-olds.
In a news conference this afternoon, the department announced it's made 7 arrests in the shooting and is still offering $50,000 in reward money for information that leads to more.
The overall theme of this case is grown men playing gangster that left 2 of our children in graves and a community in fear. And cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been.
Tonight, 11 Alive has confirmed rapper Lil Baby is named in arrest warrants.
There you have it, folks. Now, let's place ourselves in Little Baby's situation. You go and do your job, right? You go and do your job. He is a $1 million musician. He is a real rapper. He's not a guy that sits around aspiring to be a rapper all day and that's how he presents himself. No, we know who he is. We can see him anywhere, and even if we're not fan of Starstruck, we're gonna get happy to see Little Baby. Let's just be honest about it. We for the most part, he's generally liked. And I remember the old article with the district attorney. I believe her name is Fannie Mills, something like that, speaking on how she wanted to go after Little Baby, after the Young Thug case, as they had been targeting a lot of the influential rappers. Now, I'm not going to say that these guys are squeaky clean or anything like that, because I believe a lot of these guys are the real deal. A lot of them not, but a lot of these guys are the real deal. And you can't get you can't get mad at the person because other people do things trying to gain credit off of that person's name. Well, what do you mean by that, Twaun? What I mean is that we know that, okay, Little Baby went and shot this video. From my understanding, Little Baby is a little less than a king in Atlanta on the underground scene. So there's nowhere that he can't go. I mean, unless he's into it with another underground king, such as himself. And as far as I remember, him and I believe the rapper Rollo were pretty cool. And Rollo is another underground king, as far as my understanding in Atlanta. And so there's nowhere that he can't go with his money and his muscle. There's nowhere that he can't go. And most people like to have music videos shot as it brings notoriety to their hood, neighborhood, or uh, um, subdivision. Now, the thing about this is that I believe that they are targeting Little Baby. They already had this planned. It also, to me, falls somewhat in line with the whole Diddy situation, and even further back to COINTELPRO, as they have always targeted certain individuals from the foundational Black American community that has too much influence and that cannot be controlled. Basically, is what it boils down to. And he has been a thorn in their side for a while, as we remember this district attorney speaking on going after him during the whole YSL Young Thug trial. So a lot of us saw this coming. I will have to say that he appears at this point to be innocent in this situation, as I just feel like it is definitely unfair to put murder charges on him for what another person did. Nobody, I believe, that even hears about this, if they consider themselves in that situation, no, I should not go to jail for that guy shooting somebody else. Now, I am very sorry about the children that lost their lives in this situation. I believe it was like a 13-year-old, a 16-year-old, guys. So my condolences goes out to that family, and I would definitely uh, love to support them in any way that I could. And I would also offer, usher anyone else to do the same, as we should help out our fellow human beings. Now, another aspect on that is that I don't know if those children were a part of the gang activity, or were they innocent bystanders, because it could be framed in certain ways because they just want to go after Lil Baby. Now, they could have been innocent bystanders. I really didn't dig deep enough to get those details, but I have heard speculation that they may be actually part of the gang activities, and they were just one of the casualties of war, as they were soldiers also. That is what I heard. I don't know how true that is, so let's take it for a grain of salt. Now, what's so funny to me is that, they want to keep locking everyone up, and it's very divided right now on that subject. I don't think it's really divided on Diddy. Sorry for you, buddy. You are FBA, but man, it just does not look good for you. Now, JV slipped out of the Lions Den at this time. So we definitely see a pattern of them going after famous entertainers. I believe T.I. was dealing with some charges, and also Snoop Dogg a while back. So it's definitely just ridiculous at this point. Anybody can say anything, and I do mean anything, and they just come and just take you away. Now, you can beat the case, but you cannot beat the ride, guys. All right. Which, now, thinking about ride, I wanted to go, which brings me into my next subject. Did you guys hear about that? The prison guard that got caught um, messing with another inmate, and it made me think about Lil Baby. Like, you want to put my guy in there. I mean, I know he's not a big guy, and there are allegations of him may having some type of alternative lifestyle. I cannot stamp that. I would like to believe the latter. I mean, the former, as I do not want to believe that about Little Baby. But y'all want to throw him in a jail cell, man. Y'all want something bad to happen to my guy. I believe he's already done time before, but this was interesting to me with this case, as we have an officer here um, by the name of Vasquez. And okay, so in Montgomery County, Texas, a detention officer is accused of having improper sexual activities with an inmate at the Montgomery County Jail. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office said detention officer Oscar Vasquez was arrested and charged with a felony of improper sexual activity with a person in custody. On February 21st, detectives initiated a criminal investigation into Vasquez for the allegations prompting his resignation. The sheriff's office said Vasquez was immediately suspended after what was discovered from the investigation. I have spent years investigating public integrity cases and holding people accountable for violating the public's trust, and I will hold employees accountable for their actions. Criminal behavior will not be tolerated. Individuals in our jail also deserve protection, and any violation of their rights will be met with swift and decisive action. Um, yeah, so that sounds just great, but I do not know, as they are being a kind of hush hush with this scenario. You notice that they never said who the inmate was. Now, I'm going to give a speculative um, answer on this. It appears to be another guy. I'm just gonna. It to me, it appears to be another guy, which is what made me think about Little Baby. You want to throw my boy in there, and you want him to get fondled by the guard, huh? Yeah, y'all. Yeah, I mean, y'all. Come on, man. I look. I mean, and I believe he's about that life. I don't know how good Little Baby is with his hands. I mean, the name Little Baby is kind of not the hardest name to me, but the label has nothing to do with your character. But Little and Baby. I mean, but that was pretty interesting to me, and they actually are hiding that. So I'm going to believe that in the Vasquez case, this guy was a gay jailer, and he was in there messing around with the inmates. Yeah, can't make this stuff up, right, guys? Um, which is really sad. And what's going on with these officers? I was actually looking at another case and about another HPD officer. This guy had gotten caught messing with a minor or something like a few years ago, and man, this guy got caught again. I mean, and y'all are going after all of these so-called rappers and all of this stuff. The problem is on your own lines. So I'm going to show you guys this clip here of this HPD lieutenant. I mean, he was like a big wig. He was some type of captain. This is Houston Police Department captain, right? That was caught for child pornography charges. And I will let you guys see that clip right here.
Arrested again just hours after he bonded out on child porn charges.
ABC 13 Jessica Willie broke news of his first arrest last night. And Jess, he walked into the Galveston County Jail for the second time moments ago.
Yeah, this HPD captain being processed into the jail right now. Darren Edwards posted a $250,000 bond overnight and was released after being charged yesterday with possession of child pornography. Well, tonight he was arrested again. Bond this time has been denied. And let me show you video of Edwards as he's being walked into the Galveston County Jail tonight. A 32-year veteran with the Houston Police Department with his head down. This happened just within the last hour. He is charged with 2 additional felonies, aggravated sexual assault and sexual performance of a child, all stemming from a disturbance call at his League City home yesterday. According to sources, League City police confirm that's where he was arrested the first time after child pornography was found on his phone. Sources tell me further investigation led to these new charges today, and League City police say the investigation remains ongoing. According to HPD, Edwards served.
There you have it, folks. So while they are busy attacking people that are actually doing their job, yeah, I'm going to put it out there, that are actually doing their job, why are you not doing your job? You're doing the criminal's job. So you want to take these innocent guys, and I'm not saying they're squeaky clean or just, they're innocent in this in these allegations. Let's say that, right? You want to take this innocent guy and you want to put him in this corrupted environment, right? The inmates are sick. The officers are obviously sick. So how is he supposed to come out of that if let's just say that he was railroaded? And which brings me to my next subject. I spoke on Leonard Cure last time, and it was very unfortunate that he did 16 years and then was actually murdered by a suspected white supremacist cop. I know a lot of people that just chaps you when people use that phrase, but that is not a black phrase. That was actually created by racist a long time ago. So we are only using the phrase that was created by the people themselves, as you should be able to label yourself, and that is how they label themselves. Now, I want to show you guys another clip of another guy, a guy named Robert Johnson, who is about 43 years old, and he was exonerated and found innocent also a few days ago, and he served nearly 30 years. I believe it was maybe about 27 because he went down at 16. So he's 43. Can you imagine the mental damage, the psychological damage, the family ties, his reputational damage? I mean, there's no money that you can give him back for that. And the problem is that we're constantly feeding this system innocent victims. The people that should be thrown in there is that HPD officer. Should be Officer Vasquez. It shouldn't be the people that didn't do anything. Of course, there are a lot of people in every group that does stuff, and we all do want them locked up. Let's not get that carried away. We all want to be protected. We just want justice to be fair across the board. So, with that being said, I will show you guys this next clip.
You're looking live at 26 in California, where Robert Johnson, 43-year-old, has finally been released from prison. He's been in there for almost 30 years. He had his sentence vacated yesterday. I think he's coming up to the microphone, and let's hear what he has to say.
Robert, just tell us what you're feeling right now, man.
I didn't think this day was gonna happen. They had me in that cage for 28 years and 10 months of my life for something I didn't have nothing to do with. I'm just thankful that we got in front of a judge that was honorable and that was fair and finally put an end to this nightmare, this hell on earth that I've been dealing with since I was 16 years old.
Robert, your family said you stayed so positive over the last 28 years. What was it like? What went through your head for the last 3 decades?
I had my ups and downs. It was positive, negative. At one point, I was real bitter. I came up out of that because of my family. They supported me, kept my heart, and I'm really lost for words, but I'm gonna get through this here. I came up out of it, and I started fighting to prove my started fighting to prove my innocence, and started writing people. I don't know how many letters I wrote, maybe thousands. No matter how many no's I got one yes, and that's when things started to change for me.
So what's next for you?
What's next for me? I would really like to start making the world more conscious of there are a lot of people in prison for things that they didn't do. It seems to me that the public, it's like they see it on the news, but it's like they don't relate to it. For some reason, they don't understand that it is a reality. Like, it was just easy just for them to go in there and just say it was me. And I've been in here 28 years of my life. And there wasn't nothing I can do about it. I tried.
There you have it, folks. That is the point that I am illustrating. You heard it from the guy himself, Robert Johnson. Congratulations on you winning your freedom after all of this time. I know that you probably thought that it would never come. Now, as he illustrated in the best way that he could, look, they can say anything about anybody. And they have this whole method where it's like they'll throw a whole pizza at a wall and just hope that a few pieces of pepperoni will stick and they'll say, look at that. Look at there. Look at there. You see? You see? And no, man, I just can't continue to sit by without saying anything because squeaky wheels is going to get the grease about these situations. You just want to say anything about anybody because you don't like them. I mean, we can't help who we know in our life, in our past. All of us, a lot of us have a colorful past, and we have associations with people that we probably would choose to not disclose at later points in our life. But that doesn't mean that we're guilty of the things that they done or that they're doing. For one, within the Lil Baby situation, there's a big tax bracket difference. He does not have to do the things that the everyday person would have to do to survive on the basic needs based on Maslow's hierarchy of classifications. There are also a lot of repercussions that come from this situation, financial, as when you go through any type of legal case, they want, if they can't beat you, they want to bankrupt you. There's slander to your character and to your brand. If you have to do time, there's psychological damage. There could be any type of sexual damage if you're violated in that type of situation. So it is definitely a whole torturous process. And I believe that we need to pay more attention to everyone that is being turned into a victim by this system unfairly. Now, to close out my discussion today, I wanted to quickly go over the Trump-Zelensky spat as I am divided on my opinion of the whole situation. I do want the Ukraine war ended. Trump, he's very unorthodox and he's doing that. Of course, we don't like his methods usually, but he gets the job done for what he says. It's like a child when you ask them to go do something and the way that you picture it in their mind, they go do it, but they don't do it the way that you pictured it in your mind, and it still pisses you off and leaves a bad feeling, right? So I want to show you guys this clip for those of you guys that have not seen the spat between Trump and Zelensky. Then I will give my quick take on that situation.
He killed our people, and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count one.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems, even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly
Remember this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
you will
good.
Feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very
you,
strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. But right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very
There you have it, folks. Very unfortunate for the Ukrainian president. I am not for the Ukraine war, but here's the thing, guys. We are terrible at keeping our word. The way that I was personally raised was that a man should be a man first. I can only speak for a man. I don't know how to be a woman. So I can only a man should be a man first. And one of those tenets of being a man is don't say anything if you can't live up to your word. Now, we have given this people our word, not necessarily Donald Trump. I believe he was totally against it, and it probably never would have even escalated to this point had he been in office. But unfortunately, the administration before Trump made promises to this guy. And I don't want to live up to those promises, but we can definitely live up to our alliance. As we understand, sometimes it's hard to live up to other people's promises. Now, Trump has a interesting way of dealing with stuff. He believes in the old, what is it, lead by strength and force and show that. And the Ukrainian president, Zelensky, is actually just trying to be a good president for his people. At this point, he sees them going down, and he's going down swinging as a real captain will go down with his ship. So salute for that. Now, as far as the way that I feel on this, I feel like the American culture right now divided. I definitely want it over. I'm actually glad that Trump is ending it. I did not like the way that looked, guys. Um, it looks like we don't live up to our word, and we don't live up to our obligations with our friends. And I am for ending the war. I am for all of this. I mean, I don't have a better substitute. So the method I cannot agree with, but the result I can. And with that being said, I will close this session. Please give me your thoughts, opinions, and comments on these topics in the comment section. I am Twaun X. This is the Double Take Podcast. Please take the time to like the video and subscribe to my channel to get immediate notifications of my future videos. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks.